What is going down, man? You already know what time it is. It's your boy Dorian, man. Hey, BFG. You already know what we coming with, man. You know how we rock it. And look, I just want to say to those that watched the video, man, thank you. Thank you for the love, man. I had like 45 views on that. That's my biggest, that's actually probably the most views I've got in a little minute for my first video that I posted. But I just want to say thank y'all. Thank you for hearing my heart. Thank you for listening to my heart. I know it was deep. I know it was a lot, but I wanted to make sure that moving forward, I wanted you to know the real me. And the only way you can know the real me was that I had to tell it all. Like, that's my story. That's what I come from. And so now that I've done that, now we can get down to business. Now we could keep moving forward and keep working on some things. So I know I left a lot out, and I did it on purpose. But the main topic that I wanted you guys to get from that video was that when you don't face your issues and when you don't actually learn from the lessons and the things that you've been through, you're going to stay in a victimization mindset. And you won't grow like that. You don't grow blaming others. You don't grow putting the blame on others. Like, that's just not the way our life works, right? So I got a few key points, y'all. Today's principle that we're gonna have is called cultivating a growth mindset. All right. So what I'm wanting to do is to take the last video I made, and I want to give you some principles on some of the things that has helped me get to the place that I am. So what does it look like when you don't face your problems? I got some notes here, so I'm gonna read off those notes and we're gonna really dive into this. All right. So what does it look like when you do not actually face your problems, when you are ignoring them, you victimize yourself, whatever? So it says avoiding or not facing your issues can both have a short-term or long-term consequences. Now, y'all remember what I said, because I never addressed the abandonment, I never addressed the rejection from my parents. Even though I love my mom dearly, I love my dad dearly, there were still things that I had been through. I still never dealt with that stuff mentally. And it took a long-term effect on me. And what do I mean by long-term effect? The way that I think, the way that I move, the way that how I react to things, the way I make decisions, right? You know, it was all emotional based, and it wasn't principle based. It wasn't, I wasn't a critical thinker, like none of that. I was not about making good decisions, right? So I want to give you a few little key points that come with actually, what does it look like? What are the pros and cons of actually avoiding your problems? Like, let's just go ahead and put the cat out the bag. So the first things first is avoiding. So when you are the cons, when you're avoiding or not facing issues, the cons to it is you have strained relationships. What does that mean? That means that you're very distant from everybody because you don't want to let nobody in because you don't trust people, or you don't want to let people in because you feel like they're going to hurt you again. So you put up this wall towards people. So strained relationships, it affects your physical and mental health. Some people lose weight, some people gain weight, some people overeat, whatever the case may be. Mentally, it can mess your mind up, y'all. Like, you don't realize how damaged your brain is from, like, literally for me, it's a chemical imbalance. Like, I literally have a chemical imbalance on how I react to things. And so I had to get external help to help me to work through those chemical imbalances. And don't be afraid if you need external help. Like, it's okay. Like, one thing as Dorian that I make a vow to you guys, that is all love over here. We don't judge nobody for their past, present, or future, right? We just gonna continue to grow. If you got to get external help, get external help. It's gonna be what it be. It's gonna be okay. All right. And then the third thing, You learn to run from conflict, which becomes a coping mechanism. I am the king. I'm the king of it, y'all. Like, most of us are just running from conflict. Most of us are not wanting to address the things that we've been through. And so when you do that, that one time it might be cool, depending on what it is. If it's major, or if let me say this, if it's minor, you might be able to get away with it. You might be able to get away with the, okay, I didn't address that one. Okay, cool. But when it's major things like abandonment, anger, unforgiveness, when you have those things and you continue to avoid those problems and you don't address them and you don't talk about them, like that, you are setting yourself up for failure. Now, look, I'm gonna say this right now. I'm not talking about like you need to address conflict with people that have hurt you. Like, you don't need that. I'm not talking about that. But I'm talking about people that have been here genuinely for you, that have been here through thick and thin, and you took one situation and you allowed it to hurt you. For instance, like my wife, when my wife would not say anything, I took that as rejection. When my wife wouldn't talk to me about things, I took that as rejection, right? So look, we're going to get into these cons. We're going to talk about them. So what are some of the pros to actually, like, because there's a good side to everything. There's a good side and then there's a bad side to everything. And I want to make sure in this video that I'm clear and precise about how to handle adversity and how to handle conflict. Because conflict is going to come in all shapes and sizes. It doesn't matter how big, how small, how tall, how wide, like conflict will come. And if you don't learn to address the hard conflict now, when you gonna own a business or when you gonna be hanging out with people and there's things you need to address, it's gonna be 6 times harder for you to actually have that conversation with somebody that you love or versus somebody on the street. Because anybody can say anything to somebody on the street because you ain't tripping. But when you gotta have a conversation with someone that you love, it's a completely different monster. All right. So what is it when you face your problems? Like what are the benefits? Because I know some people ask, what are the benefits? So the benefits to it is increased self-awareness, improved mental health, and improved problem-solving skills. And I really want to speak to that. Increased self-awareness. What does that even mean? It means that you understand that there is a problem. And when you understand that problem will not go away and you realize that you have to address it, that's how you're going to increase your self-awareness. Looking around and realizing that the way that I'm acting, the way that I'm reacting, or the way that I took that specific situation, that's what's causing me either hurt or causing me, like, whatever, however you want to level it, minor damage, major damage, whatever you want to do. Like, you have to be self-aware enough to realize that there is a problem. And when you don't realize there's a problem, if you are still stuck on, you don't think you have problems, you need to go back and watch my second or third video where I talked about denial. Because denial is a real thing. And so the only way you could become more self-aware is to realize that realize one, that you're a human being. And then you got to realize that you actually have active problems, right? So again, improve problem solving skills. What does that mean? That means you learn to navigate on what is fact and what is feeling. For instance, fact was that my dad was not here for majority of my childhood. That's a fact. Like, that's a fact. Like, that you can shake it up, press it down, do whatever you want to do. But the fact of the matter is that my dad was not here when I was younger. Feeling is because of that actual the cause of that. Now I'm in a place where I have low self-esteem. I don't have confidence. So what I do is that I'm constantly pushing people away, because I don't trust them, or I'm because I'm angry, I take my anger out on those people that I love, or because I'm upset, like I don't know how to address my problem, so I react with feelings versus facts. And so how do you get yourself out of that? Is that you got to be principle driven. I hope y'all taking this information. This is good game that I'm giving y'all, man. Like, you have to be principle driven and not feelings driven. Because every time, most of us are, how it is. Every time you get in your feelings, you start doing stuff to people. You start just reacting in ways that you ain't supposed to be reacting. And then now you got to go back, apologize. None of that. Okay. Be principle driven and not feelings driven. All right. But remember this, and I'm about to leave y'all. Remember this. You don't have forever, y'all. You gotta start addressing these things now. Address it. Face it. It's okay. It's not gonna be easy. It wasn't meant to be easy. But know that when you face your problems, know that you will overcome this. You are the lion and not the lamb. You are the head, not the tail. You don't have to allow your past or you allow the things that have happened to you to dictate where your story will go, to dictate where your life will go, but you could use it as a testimony to other people and help other people get to the next level. Help other people overcome their issues, whatever that is that looks like for them. All right, man, it's your boy Dorian, bro. I hope that you gain some information. Remember, when you avoid your problems, you leave yourself upset, you leave yourself hurt, you hurt others. But when you actually face your problems, you realize you become better for yourself and you could become better for the ones around you. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Hey, BFG, always remember, you were born for greatness, man. And now you know. Let's go, bro. I'm going to catch y'all in the next one.